If you would rather stay home alone than go out, your brain might be more intelligent than most. That is not a compliment to make you feel better. It is what the science actually shows. The invitation comes in, and something in you quietly sinks. A party, a gathering, a night out with people you actually like. And yet the thing you want most is to stay home. Alone. Not because you are sad, not because anything is wrong, but because being alone feels like coming up for air. The world has probably told you something is off about you for this. That you are antisocial, cold, missing out. But the truth is stranger and far more flattering. Because the more intelligent a person is, the more likely they are to feel exactly this way. And by the end of this video, you will never feel guilty for wanting to be alone again. Start with a study that shocked the people who ran it. In 2016, two psychologists named Norman Lee and Satoshi Kanazawa published research in the British Journal of Psychology. They were studying what makes people happy, and they found something they did not expect. For most people, spending time with friends made them happier. The more social contact, the better they felt. But for the most intelligent people in the study, the effect reversed. Highly intelligent people were actually less satisfied with life when they socialized more often. Read that again. The smarter someone was, the more that socializing dragged their happiness down. To explain it, the researchers reached back hundreds of thousands of years. They called it the savanna theory of happiness. For almost all of human history, early humans lived in small groups on the open grassland. Constant contact with your group was survival. Being alone meant being exposed. So the human brain evolved to feel good around others and uneasy in isolation. But here is their twist. Highly intelligent people, they argued, are the ones best able to break free from that ancient wiring. Their brains are built to focus on long-term goals, not just the tribe in front of them. For them, constant socializing does not feel like safety. It feels like an interruption. So think about what that study is really saying. It is not that intelligent people dislike others. It is that their happiness simply does not depend on constant company the way most people's does. They can be perfectly content in a room by themselves, lost in the thing they love. For them, a quiet evening alone is not something to escape from. It is something to protect. Now go deeper into the brain itself. Because the difference is not just psychological, it is physical. The idea that some people are wired inward is not new. Over a century ago, the psychiatrist Carl Jung was the first to describe introversion and extroversion. He said extroverts draw their energy from the outside world, from people and activity and noise. But introverts draw their energy from within, from their own inner world of thoughts and ideas. For an introvert, Jung explained, the outer world is not a source of energy. It is a source of drain. But why would that be? What is actually different inside the head of someone who needs to be alone? Decades later, a psychologist named Hans Eysenck went looking for the answer, and he proposed something remarkable about introverts. He suggested that introverts and extroverts have different baseline levels of brain arousal. Arousal here does not mean excitement. It means how stimulated your nervous system already is at rest. Eysenck's idea was this. Extroverts have lower baseline arousal, so they crave stimulation, noise, crowds, novelty, just to feel awake. But introverts already run hot. Their brains are highly stimulated even in a quiet room. So a loud party does not energize them. It floods them. For a brain that is already near its limit, a crowded room is not fun. It is too much. This is why you can leave a genuinely fun social event feeling completely drained. You were not bored. You were overstimulated. It can take hours of silence afterward just to feel like yourself again. And the sharper and more sensitive the brain, the longer that recovery can take. And your brain has been quietly begging for the one thing that turns the volume down. Solitude. But solitude does something even more interesting than just lowering the noise. It switches on a hidden network in your brain. When you stop focusing on the outside world, your brain does not go quiet. It activates what neuroscientists call the default mode network. This is the system behind self-reflection, imagination, memory, and connecting ideas across time. It is the part of you that daydreams, that plans, that makes sense of who you are. And it works best when you are alone and undisturbed. Every time you are interrupted, that network gets shut down. So for a mind that lives on deep thought, constant socializing is not just tiring. It is cutting off the exact process that makes that mind feel alive. And there is another reason the intelligent mind pulls away. It does not just think more. It processes more deeply. Where one person hears a passing comment and forgets it, a deep thinker turns it over for hours. Where one person walks through a busy street, a deep thinker absorbs every face, every sound, every small detail. This is a gift, but it comes with a price. A brain that processes everything deeply reaches its limit faster than a brain that lets things slide. So what looks like avoiding people is often just a mind protecting itself from overload. Have you ever needed an entire day to recover from a single busy afternoon? That is not fragility. That is a high-resolution mind clearing an overloaded cache. Now think about what that means for creativity. The psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi spent his career studying peak performance and creative genius. He found something that sounds almost harsh. He observed that teenagers who could not tolerate being alone often failed to develop their creative talents. Because the deep practice that builds any real skill almost always happens in solitude. The musician alone with the instrument. The writer alone with the page. The thinker alone with the problem. Great work is not built in the crowd. It is built in the quiet room the crowd never sees. Think of almost any breakthrough you admire. The theory scribbled in a notebook. The song written alone at midnight. The idea that arrived in the shower with no one else around. Almost none of it happened in a crowded room. The crowd is where ideas are shared. Solitude is where they are born. History is full of brilliant minds who guarded their alone time fiercely. The thinkers and inventors and writers who changed the world often described the very same thing. That their best ideas came not in company, but on long walks and in quiet rooms, alone with their own minds. They were not running away from people. They were running toward the one place where their deepest thinking could finally happen. So the person who chooses solitude is not hiding from life. They are going somewhere most people never go. If your brain is feeling a little seen right now, good. If you have ever been made to feel broken for needing space, subscribe and stay with this. New video every single day. Your mind is finally getting an explanation. Now here is the twist that keeps this honest. Because none of this means that intelligent people do not need anyone. They do. Every human brain is wired for connection. That never goes away. The difference is not how much connection they need. It is how much they can tolerate before it costs them. An intelligent, deeply thinking person often prefers a few real conversations over a room full of small talk. One friend who talks about ideas can be worth more to them than 100 acquaintances. It is not that they want to be alone forever. It is that they would rather be alone than be surrounded by noise that means nothing. Quality over quantity is not a preference for them. It is a need. But make no mistake, there is a real difference between chosen solitude and forced isolation. Solitude is the quiet you step into on purpose and step out of feeling restored. Isolation is being cut off when you never chose it, and that can wound anyone, no matter how smart. The intelligent mind is not asking to be abandoned. It is asking for the right to close the door sometimes, and to open it again when it is ready. And here is where the modern world makes everything harder. So what happens when a mind built for silence is dropped into a world that never stops talking? Because you were built for occasional solitude in a small, quiet tribe. Instead, you live in a world that never stops talking. Your phone buzzes with 100 voices before you even get out of bed. Every notification is another person pulling at your attention. Social media turns the entire planet into one endless crowded room you can never leave. For a brain that recharges in silence, this is exhaustion with no off switch. When was the last time your mind was truly, completely undisturbed? No screen, no feed, no one waiting on a reply. For most people alive today, the honest answer is that they cannot even remember. An entire generation of deep-thinking minds is running on empty and quietly calling it normal. So if you feel constantly drained and you do not know why, it may not be your life. It may be that your mind is a quiet instrument being played in the middle of a stadium, and it has simply never been given the silence it was designed for. So where does this leave you? If you are someone who needs to be alone, you are not antisocial. You are not broken. You are not missing out on life. You are running a brain that thinks deeply, feels intensely, and processes the world at a higher volume than most. For a mind like that, solitude is not a weakness. It is maintenance. It is where the real work happens. It is how you come back to yourself. So the next time an invitation comes in and something in you quietly sinks, listen to it. That feeling is not a flaw in you. It is one of the most intelligent parts of you. asking for exactly what it needs. The quiet was never the problem. The quiet was always where you were meant to grow. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. A new video goes up on this channel every single day. It would mean everything to have you here.